Is in my veins. It's written like a history of my family, the history of the land itself, this land where my family has lived for generations. It's a valley deep in the hills, where the traditional ways have been maintained for generations. And there are fruit trees. Each child who is born in this valley has a fruit tree planted in their name. In fact, there is a kind of formal ceremony that takes place in the village, and generation upon generation, this formal ceremony of naming has taken place on the birth of each child. The trees have names. They have names just as the inhabitants have names. There is the person, and there is the tree. The trees have names, and so do the blades. The blades of grass. Because life is so precious. Life is so felt. Things are so alive, so sacred, that even the blades of grass have names. It's something we can hardly comprehend. We can hardly comprehend this sacred life. This sense of completeness is beyond our understanding. This sense of awe humbles us. But now, devastation.
Devastation. The harmony of generations has been destroyed. This enclosed, secure world has torn apart. The women have been raped and disemboweled. The men have hacked each other to pieces.
Brother has killed brother. Cousin has murdered cousin. Mother has raped sister.
And now the dogs are picking over the remains. The petrol used to fuel the ancient tractors and generate electricity for the old black and white TVs has has now been used to set people alight.
Now for health treatment, to burn wood. Let people set on fire the cold anger of the petrol that the hot Russians claim. The burning people burn into the fruit tree,
which bear their names.
scorching the leaves, hiding on the blades of grass, while the soldiers stand by laughing.
Laughing, even though these are their own cousins, their own parents, their mothers and fathers. They have a name for this. The flower. That was my home. My children were hiding under the bed. They killed them both. First the boy, then the girl. They set alight to my little girl's hair. Still don't understand why they set alight to my little girl's hair. It crackled like a pile of sticks. I don't think I will scream. I don't think I will break down and scratch my cheeks like something from an ancient tragedy. You motherfucking shit-faced murderers! You pig-fucking, cock-sucking bastards! You sister-fucking, blaspheming, child-murdering, mindless, fucked-faced killers! I spit on your graves and the graves of your mothers and fathers and curse all future generations!
Everything destroyed.
The way of life destroyed.
A relationship with nature destroyed.
And this is why we sympathise. Because Annie's valley is our valley. Annie's trees are our trees. Annie's family is the family to which we all belong. It's a universal thing which we recognise. A universal thing which strangely restores the faith in ourselves.
young and beautiful naturally. Man, older, troubled, sensitive naturally.
A naturally sensitive man, but nevertheless a man of power and authority who knows that this is wrong.
They both know that this is wrong.
They both know that this is wrong, but they can't help themselves. Exactly. They're making love.
Doing what?
Making love. Making love in the man's apartment. A luxury apartment with a view over the entire city.
A panorama of the entire city. The charming geometry of the rooftops, the skylights, the quaint chimneys, and beyond the TV aerials are monuments of culture. The Arch of the Défense, Nelson's Column, to name but two.
Ah, the woman cries out. Her golden hair cascades over the edge of the bed. She grips the bed frame. Her knuckles whiten. There are tears in her eyes.
The apartment is beautifully furnished.
Well, obviously the apartment is beautifully furnished. Obviously it would have high ceilings and tall windows and date in all probability what? Back to the 19th century when the rise in speculative architecture coincided with the aspirations of the liberal bourgeoisie, resulting in monumental architectural schemes such as, what is it? Oh, the Viennese ring straws made such an impression on a young Adolf Hitler as he stood one morning before the opera.
Oh, one of the great Parisian.
Oh, one of the great, exactly, Parisian boulevards.
And the woman cries out, her golden hair cascades over the edge of the bed. She grips the bed frame, her knuckles whiten, her pupils widen while he
Let's say he grunts.
grunts.
Let's say he grunts, yes, but sensitively. Let's say it's the sensitive grunt of a man of power and authority, not, for example, the coarse pig-like of a mechanic lying on his back in a confined space, trying to loosen a cross-threaded nut with a very heavy and inappropriately sized wrench.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, but the masterful grunt of a man who breakfasts in one continent and lunches in the other, who flies first class with a linen napkin and a comprehensive wine list. Oh, that kind of man, that kind of grunt.
That kind of light.
What kind of light?
The kind of light that cascades in, it cascades in through the tall windows, causing that body to become this kind of riding mass.
A writhing mass.
Sure, the light, the mass, these are the basic ingredients.
Now, a look crosses her face.
What?
A look. A doubt. A look of doubt. Yes, good. Crosses Anne's face.
Even now?
Even now, in the intensity of their passion.
Even now, in the intensity of the passion, a kind of shadow crosses Anne's
A
face.
premonitory shadow.
Premonitory.
Yes, a premonitory shadow crosses her face.
Is that even a word? Is what a word? Premonitory.
Later. Now.
The lights of the city at night. Strings of lights, suspended star-like above the quays and frameworks of bridges. Odd, dull red warning lights pulsing on the tops of tower blocks and TV transmitters. The man at the telephone box. His lowered voice. His troubled glances.
Anne wakes up in the solid walnut bed. The stunning Louis Couture's clock beside her chimes 3 by means of a tiny, tiny naked gilt shepherd striking a tiny, tiny golden bell held between the teeth of an enameled wolf. No doubt some reference to an ancient myth well known to the French nobility, but now totally erased from human consciousness.
Ting, ting, ting.
Anne wakes up, lights cigarette, hears voices, appears in doorway, dialogue.
Who was it?
She says.
Nothing.
He says.
Who the fuck was it?
She says. And dialogue. And now she's angry. And dialogue. And now she's angry because she knows exactly who it was.
His political masters calling him.
No!
His political masters. That's right. Calling him just as they have always called him. The very political masters that she hates with every fiber, as it were, of her being. The very men and women that she holds responsible for the terminal injustices of this world. The very leaders who, in her naive and young opinion, have destroyed everything she holds dear in the name of A.
Business.
And B.
Laissez-faire.
In the name of A.
Idealization.
And B.
Enterprise.
In the name of A.
So-called individuals.
And B.
So-called choice.
Oh, the perfect ingredients of a tragedy.
A whole exactly tragedy unfolds before our eyes in Paris, or Prague, or Vienna, or Berlin, to name but 4. And the moon, vast and orange, rises over the Baroque domes, the Renaissance palaces, the 19th century zoos, the train stations, and the slabs of social housing, exemplifying the dictum that form follows function.
Form follows function. Yes.
But she's mad, and she begins to shout. She begins to beat him with her fist. She begins to kick him with her feet. She begins to bite him with her teeth.
She beats and beats.
She beats and beats until the exquisite clock, which has survived 2 centuries and 3 revolutions, is smashed to pieces on the highly polished and smooth parquet as she beats, bites, and kicks.
Oh, and the tiny, tiny naked gilt shepherd and the tiny, tiny bell vanish. Rather nice touch, this. Vanish forever under the walnut bed.
And then she takes a breath. Let's say, finally, shall we? She takes a breath.
The woman,
and yes, at this point, takes a breath.
and he,
Bows his head.
Yes, looks up at her.
oh, takes her tear-stained face in his hands.
Takes Anne's tear-stained face between his hands like a precious chalice.
For a rugby football.
Like a precious silver chalice, or yes, as you say, a rugby football. He still loves her.
That's right. In spite of all their ideological differences, he still loves her. Speech.
One day, Anne.
He says.
One day you'll understand my world. One day you'll understand that everything must be paid for. Even your ideals must finally be paid for.
End of speech. At which he smooths the wet strands of hair from her lips and kisses her.
Whoa! He kisses her and he pushes her back down onto the bed.
Better still, she pushes him.
Oh, yes, me.
Such is her emotional confusion, such is her sexual appetite, such is her inability to distinguish between right and wrong. Oh, this stunning apartment with its high ceilings and its polished parquet floors, and its grand piano, backed by circa 1923.
It should perhaps be noted that there are no means of contraception in the case of Anne against pregnancy, or in the case of either of them against sexually transmitted diseases such as
A portrait of a young girl sketching, once thought to be by David, but later attributed to his female contemporary, Constance Charpentier, and a small triangular yellow ashtray containing 3 cigarette stubs and a quantity of fine grey ash.
5-minute cold, Minnesota. 5-minute cold.
Perfect ingredients of a tragedy, a whole tragedy. Oh, love and ideology. These are the basic ingredients.
Are you home?
Am I home?
Oh,
What do you mean, am I home?
soaking. It's raining out here. My feet are chunks of ice.
You know, funny thing, in Los Angeles, almost everybody has cold feet.
Oh, no jokes, please.
No jokes, really? How about a gentle humor? You like to hear an anecdote? How about an anecdote?
Did you see my kid? Isn't she beautiful?
Oh, that's nice, Mark.
Yeah. I'm giving up older people. Can't photograph them without their clothes on.
So it's not her first attempt.
No, it shouldn't be his first attempt. Followed the tribe at various times, even before leaving their home and tried.
Tried various times through her life.
And we see these at times.
Yes, we would. We would see them, and we would live through them with the audience.
And there should be photos, right? Photos.
Yeah, there'll be photos all over the walls, yeah.
And we should do some close too. So close you can make out all of the little tiny dots. It's funny how everything is made up of these little dots and empty space in between, even a smile.
It's a genuine and not,
It's a genuine-
was a happy smile.
It's a genuinely happy smile, alright?
No one could ever make Annie smile.
No. She loves going these holidays because she loves meeting new people. She will introduce you to her fellow guests, ensuring that everybody has a memorable time.
And no question of what she does and does not want to do.
Everything is made up of these dots and this empty space. Even her eyes, her hair, smile.
Smiles from all over the world.
People from all over the world. People from all over the world photographing Annie. Smiling with Annie. People, I suppose you could say, pop in and out of her life.
And pop out again.
Pretty pornographic, some of
Oh, I'd
these.
hardly call it pornographic. It's just the high spirits of a girl. The high spirits of a young girl was always leaving someone, always meeting someone, always in an airport or at a carousel or
Always
in a
on the side
bus
of the road
or...
somewhere with that big red bag. That big red canvas bag that her parents got for her 16th birthday. Somewhere in Europe, somewhere in America, somewhere in Africa.
Europe, America, South Africa, you name it, Brazil.
Cuba, Brazil, Romania, or even Nigeria.
Algeria, Tunisia, the Sahara Desert.
The Kalahari Desert, the foothills of the
Or the
Himalayas.
foothills of the Alps, or, what's it called,
The Piedmont.
the Piedmont.
The Piedmont.
The Piedmont. The Piedmont. Okay, she's in some foothills somewhere with that big red bag of hers, but let's be honest, she's concerned.
Of course she's concerned. We can see that she's concerned, and we should be able to see it in every single one of these photos because it's in her character.
Oh,
she has to
what?
be concerned.
What? Photos with her with smiling slum dwellers?
Photos of her on hillsides and smiling hill dwellers.
Oh, whose land is that? Oh yeah, the rubbish gets blown into the rubbish dumps by the wind.
Photos of her on hillsides with smiling people and their smiling children.
She enjoys spending lots of time with guests and getting a great feeling of satisfaction when everyone is having a great time. She says there are lots of parts at the station when it's time to go, with holiday makers on the train waving and saying, "See you next time," through the train window. I think we're getting distracted.
I think we are. And I think that one thing that should be made clear, which perhaps differs from the previous attempts, is what this is not is a cry for help.
And that should be made very clear.
Nobody-
That she was the only one to make the decision.
Nobody could have helped her. Not
Not with that, no. Or her so-called friends.
help was the last thing that she wanted. There's a scene somewhere in the script where she mentions something strange as a child. Hold on, let me find it.
I feel like a scream.
Yes, I feel like a scream, exactly. And the next absence and gone, and the next thing, she wants to be a terrorist.
She wants to be a terrorist. Oh, what a magnificent twist. What, she can have a gun and a list of targets?
Exactly, a list of targets, killing once a week, and then going back to her little room with her Earl Grey tea.
We're going to have an into the list for it. I'm breaking up the scene.
She loves taking people on guided walks, and she's an excellent signpost.
A car, a television, an automatic pistol, and a treadle sewing machine.
Do you know what? I think they're going to like this. She's constantly going around the world and then back to her little room with her Earl Grey tea.
Somewhere in Europe, Africa, you name it, Brazil.
Cuba, Brazil, Romania, or Nigeria.
Algeria, Tunisia, the Sahara Desert.
The Kalahari Desert, the foothills of the Himalayas, or even the foothills of the Alps. Or do you know what? The foothills in somewhere with that big red bag. That big red canvas bag that her parents got her for her 16th
I don't think
birthday.
she has the range.
It should be noted that the bag is full of stones. Stones that have been there to hold her down no matter how much she crashes. It ends with her hitting, kicking and screaming away at the world. She kicks and she kicks, yet the rocks, which have perhaps been there from the start, weigh her down. That is our ending.
She doesn't have the stamina. Myrtle doesn't have the stamina.
But we promised her the rock.
Oh, I'm sure her dresses can comfort her. We need someone new, someone the camera loves.
Camera looks Myrtle.
God, we need someone new, someone up and coming, not someone who's had the same bloody haircut for the last 30 years. That girl Nancy, the producers like her and the camera loves her.
Yeah, right. Camera loves her, yeah.
We need to produce a side of this, or we have no claim. This is far bigger than Myrtle.
Fine. Camera loves her.
She's a girl next door. She's a photo for. She's the reason for the Trojan War.
And we see her with that big red bag of hers, always with that big red bag, and a giant county and a Chaldean temple.
She's a femme fatale. She's adult life. She's one hell of a gal. She's intelligent life.
In the Mason Township and Reading County, with that big red bag of hers, at the foothills of the Himalayas.
She's a predator. She's a god of war. She's a photophore.
Killing once a week and going back to her little room with her Earl Grey tea.
She's a girl.
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 She's a girl. Next door.
With that big red bag of hers. Always with that big red bag of hers.
The best years of her life are ahead of her. She could be 17 or 18, but ideally she's younger. 14 perhaps, or younger still. It's really, really important to understand that she is in control. Even when it looks violent or dangerous, which it's not, obviously. Of course, there's no story to equal, or characters. Not in the conventional sense, but that's not to say that skill isn't required. Since we still need to feel that we're seeing is real. It isn't just acting, it's far more exacting than acting for the simple reason that it's really happening. She enjoys her work. She's young and fit and happy with her body. How she uses her body is her decision, obviously. That doesn't stop her from living a normal life. She has a regular boyfriend and all the more interested girl her age. Clothes, boys, music, makeup, pets. The difference is that porno is bringing up for her the kind of security and independence many women would envy. The difference is that porno is actually a way of taking control. Porno is actually the reverse of what it seems, because rather than consuming the images, she's producing them. And that for her is one of the beauties of porno. She's not insensitive to the evening light as it strikes top of the pine trees with a beautiful orange. She has an inner life. She responds sensitively to the world. In fact, the scenario of the drugged and desensitized child humiliated and filmed or photographed without her knowledge is a ludicrous caricature. Everything is provided for her needs, including a regular education. And by the age of 21, the best years of her life are still ahead of her. And she'll have money in the bank from porno. Not everyone has that start in life. Or those opportunities, obviously. For example, become a model or a TV personality. She could own her own country pub or travel the world. She could paint, swim professionally or study for a degree in chemical engineering. Nancy could save the whole animal race. And the human race, obviously. Nancy reduced distribute the world's resources evenly across the earth, raising from the dust the faces of the disaffected, or guaranteeing not to erode the privileges of the middle class. She will popularise psychoanalytic theory by probing the roots of human behaviour in a series of weekly magazine articles. Nancy has seen the world from space. The wrinkles of the mountains, the cobbled threads of the rivers. She's excavated the shallow graves and picked over the skulls of the dead. She's scattered information in the optic fibres and danced with particles of light.
Obviously. You know what? She's got this kind of ashtray. The round kind on a stand. It's the kind of ashtray that you'd find in the lobby of a cheap hotel room. With a man you've never met before.
With a man you'll never see again.
With a man, exactly, that you've never met before and have no intention of ever seeing again. This is the kind of ashtray that it is, with its sudden aura of unprotected sex.
And she speaks 5 languages, and with the help of the CERN accelerator in Geneva, has discovered a new elementary particle, which will bear her name and change the way we all look at the universe.
Doesn't seem to care. She has no conscience. She expresses no remorse. She says, I do not recognize her authority. I do not recognize her authority. What does she mean by that? Who does she think she is? Does she think she can get away with her acts of random, senseless superiority? Not one thing in her eyes reveals a spark of human feeling.
Not one spark, that's right, or any sense of shame. Is this the same child who once wore a pink gingham dress and a straw hat and went with the daughters of doctors, dentists, like property developers and TV presenters to the school on the hill with the polished brass plate and the teachers in the strict tartan skirts?
The same little Nancy who used to pray to God every day at Mass with no sense whatsoever of irony.
You pray to God, bless Mummy, bless Daddy, bless Wiggy the cat, bless everyone with absolutely no sense of irony at all, except for the belief that she might there on her knees invoke the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. The same Nancy who now, she stands there. She stands there in front of serious men and women and directors and producers, and she refuses to accept their authority. She said about her work, they say, with all the true detachment of an artist.
She's a porn star turned wannabe actress.
She didn't even go to drama school.
She works alone.
She works alone.
She auditions alone.
Apparently, yes.
She lives alone, eats alone.
She works, eats, lives, sleeps, auditions entirely by herself. In fact, her list of recorded voice messages almost entirely consist of orders of food to be sent to apartments overlooking metropolitan streets. A large pizza, garlic bread, 1.5 liters of Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi. Diet Pepsi. Boys delivering things on scooters, sure. Paid for in cash. In cash. Does she really think that she can get away with this? The same little Nancy who now has callers of both sexes receiving counseling for impotence and STDs. It's in all the tabloids. They're demanding to be compensated.
You summed up the mood of a generation.
And you were on the cover of Vogue magazine.
Twice.
Twice.
I sold the rights to my memoir for $2.5 million. Who does she think she is?
Myrtle to stage.
She's a wannabe. She's an adolescent. She has no chance. But you know what? She will be held accountable. She will be held accountable for the outrage that she has perpetrated.
again.
You want to be young again, say?
Right.
All right, get up. Sweetheart. Sweetheart. Record. You all right? I was going to call a doctor.
Don't be afraid. I love you. You're a wonderful actor, Maurice. We must never forget this is only a play.
Hello, ladies. How are you doing tonight? It's a beautiful day, isn't it? May I ask you a few questions? You say she rides her bike in all weathers?
I believe so.
She wears a hat that you say she has knitted herself.
Yes, she does.
She grows her tomato plants in margarine tubs.
Margarine tubs.
Or yogurt pots.
Yogurt pots. It's
Yogurt
yogurt. No,
pots.
no. It's yogurt pots.
Why do you suppose she does that?
Because she sells them at fetes.
What? Fates. She means fates. Of course. And you suppose she goes to fetes on her bike?
Yes, she does.
In all weathers?
Yes, she
In a
does.
cardboard box?
Yes, she does.
Now, why do you suppose she does that? You state, quote, she often shared a bed with 2 or 3 of her younger siblings, unquote. Do you abide by that statement?
Yes.
Really?
Because she didn't. Because they were poor. Because they had nothing.
How unfortunate. They could just sign right here.
What?
Well, could you just sign and say that you have read the statement and consider it accurate? Well, do you consider it accurate?
If I could have a pen. Hold on to that, that'll be worth a lot in 10 years.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Have a nice night.
houses with no one living there. The sun gleams off her aerodynamic body.
The aerodynamic body is the new Nancy.
She snakes along old broken roads, far older than I can imagine.
We now understand that the new Nancy comes with electric windows. She is fast. She is sleek. She is free.
All the things other manufacturers offer as extras are offered as standard in the new Nancy. She's the Trojan horse, waiting to attack.
She's a model to be a classic.
It's something your father would love. No, she's the reason for the Trojan War, someone else's fatal flaw.
Something for Father's Day, like a red 1958 Cadillac. But
the new Nancy glides past the white beaches of the world until she parks outside the halogen-lit shoe shops. She snakes herself through the heart of the city, a slice of history and culture, waiting to be received.
a classic with all the new updates, a brand new take on old ways.
The new Nancy offers environmentally friendly options for cars.
An environmentally friendly option for the future. When one is sad, sick, or dying, she spews new life for fun, sex, and youth.
Something someone's father will love. No one ever fills the bottom of the new Nancy with explosives. No child's pelvis is ever shattered in a chance collision with the new Nancy. No man ever rapes and kills a woman in the back of the new Nancy, dumping her body at a red light. When she's done, she'll move on.
All the road prices include MAT, license plate, delivery, and 6 months fun license!
Discover the new Nancy today.
Another round of applause! Woo! I know what I'll be buying tonight.
Head. Green. Water. Sea. That long ship. Pay. Window. Window. Table. To ask. Cold stand to dance. Village, lake, sea, pride, cook. Ink. Ink. Angry. Needle. Access book. Blue. Lamp to sin. Red. Rich. Trees to creep. Pity. Yellow. Mountain. To die. Salt. New. Capacity. To pray. Money. Stupid. Book. Despise. Finger. Deer. Beer. Fall. Unjust. Frog. To part. Hunger. White. Child. To pay attention. Pencil. Sad. Plum. To marry. House. Darling. Glass. To corral. For big carrot to paint. Old flower to beat. Wild penny to wash. Cow, friends, happiness, happiness, happiness to love. To torment, brother, narrow, sword, pose, anxiety to kiss. Hey, contented, ridicule, to sleep. Mom, nice, woman to abuse.
I devoted my life to you, to movies, to music, creating. I'm 17 years old. I like sex. I like to turn people on. And that's what the theater is. It's sex. It's like getting laid.
What did you do to her?
I'm not afraid of you. You're an older woman. You're frightened, and you're married.
Listen, I have this play, you know that. I have to do it. If you hurt me, I won't be able to act.
Really? I'm sorry. Don't do it. Stand still. He's my shit's hand. Don't you want to touch me?
Okay. So there's a lot on her mind. Things have, well, that's right, things have what? Things have changed for her over the past few years. That's absolutely right. I mean, we can see, let's face it, we can see that something has died. Something has died, something has died. She feels she's failed. Exactly, she feels her work has failed. She feels so personally. Her work, yes, but also personally. She feels like something inside of her has died. Has it? Has it died? The thing, the so-called thing inside of her. What so-called thing? The thing inside of her. In her case, yes. Let's say it's died. Let's say everything she's ever worked for her whole life has died. Let's say her life to this point has been what? Like a book? Like a book. Like a thread. Like a book. Like a thread. Like a boat. Like a boat. Let's say her whole life. Yes, very good. Up to this point, it's like a boat. It's a small boat. Drifting quite happily across the lake. But now she feels the water coming in through the cracks, creeping into what? Her broken heart. Her broken, exactly, yes, absolutely heart. She feels the water of the lake creeping into her broken heart. Her work, her home, and herself. Her husband, I can see that in Paris. And we're in Paris, and fucking, is he so half her age in the city of Renaissance palaces, her white domes, enacting some adolescent fantasy which she attempts to reconstruct for there. She never was. She never was. Never has. She never believed in marriage. Okay, perhaps she never believed in it because she had a husband on the city. Paul. Paul! Paul wasn't her husband. Oh, her husband. I don't know, he was just some kind of person. Like smoking. Yeah, exactly, like smoking cigarettes. Talking of which, do you know she still has that tall ashtray on stock? Talking of what? Of which? Talking of which? She doesn't. She does. She still carries it around with her from room to room. It's a ghastly thing. It's like something out of the lobby of a cheap hotel. The kind of hotel you visit just for a few hours on a weekday afternoon, strange silver just met. The lips again. Again, exactly just met that no attention I've ever seen again. It's chroming gold, it's chroming stuff, it's aura of sudden unprotected sex that she built already. So, what? She doesn't work. She does work. She has worked. She can work. She will work. She won't work. What? She won't work. But she has skills. Oh yes, she has skills. But whatever skills she has seem inappropriate to the world she's living in. Whatever work she's done seems inappropriate to the world she's living in. All she can do is pace around the ashtray or pull down books at random from the bookshelves. Don't tell me. Classic text. That's right, classic text she should have read as a student 20, 30 years ago. Shakespeare, Crimp, Pinter, the bits she used to underline. She used to underline because they had some meaning. Or she was taught. Taught, not necessarily taught, they had some meaning. You know, skating seems more appropriate to her. That's exactly what I mean. She never skimmed. She never reaches the smallest parts of things. Part of the recipe, part of the recipe, part of the letter, fine. To some other letter. She's never read an article she missed. What article was that? Oh, she missed it. She missed it, okay. But we can still imagine what she might have missed. That thing about the actor, that other thing about the politician, thing about fresh salmon. What was that one? The salmon. Yes. Well, how you define the word fresh, okay? So what the word fresh in a phrase like fresh salmon, quote, actually means. You mean, can it mean previously frozen? Exactly. He did what? That being on the floor. Black looking at the face of exactly the child's mother she slept. It was his own child. No, it wasn't his child. But his own child was there. He brought his own child to watch. He brought his own child, that's right, to watch him murder his other child's mother. Brought his own child in his pajamas to watch him do it. To stop her.